When things go completely opposite, it is not a reason to give up on what God said. This video is for you if you have literally seen God move mountains, okay, concerning your marital stand. If you have seen God answer your prayers progressively, it doesn't mean, it doesn't matter if you're not at the finish line yet, but you have seen God move between you and your spouse. The times where you wanted to give up and God would always come through a confirmation to keep you going. You have seen God has given you dreams. God has just shown you so much signs that he hears you and that he's going to do this. Just because things are not going the way that you would like it to go doesn't mean you have to give up. I literally went through this a lot, and a lot of times I have learned, and I've said this before, God will purposely make it look like opposite of what he's saying because he wants to get you in a habit of having faith, and believing without seeing. So just because things are going opposite, that means that you're upset. That means that your faith is rooted in what you see and not God. Getting to a place where you are unmoved, it takes time, all right? So it's not something where you wake up and do. It's literally where you're walking with God and you're passing these tests and God is feeding your faith. Some of you guys are literally fighting for your life because you're fighting the spirits that has been in your bloodline and your spouse's bloodline for years and years. And guess what? Every battle that you face, God is raising you up to overcome. And a lot of times, you're not even fighting the battle. You're not even doing anything. God is the one that's doing all the heavy lifting. So in my journey, I have been discouraged a lot. And I have been wanting to give up a lot. And I have been wanting to go in another direction a lot. And God has always reminded me, just because it's not the way that I would think it's supposed to be, doesn't mean that God isn't going to do it. So you have to get to a place where God is getting you to a place where basically when things go wrong, you know what I'm saying, you're not moved. And I was telling people this on a live yesterday. Find a secret place. Find a safe place, okay? Because when you find a secret place, you find a safe place where you can just go and dwell with the Lord. That is where you'll get your strength from. That is where you'll get everything, So I pray that this video has encouraged you. But just because, it looks like your spouse is not getting any better or the situation is not changing, it doesn't mean that God wants you to change direction. If you have confirmation from God, a word from God, God has shown you so many signs of him working in this, stay. Because it's going to be worth the fight and it's going to be worth seeing what God said, okay? So if you have evidence, tangible evidence that God is working and God is moving, even little changes in your spouse, stay and allow God to finish his work because again, God will change them, all right? He changed you. God will change them. So don't worry about them. One of the greatest lessons that I also want to share is this. Whenever you're let's say you're dealing with your spouse, all of their imperfections is something that you need to go in prayer about. That's something that I had to learn. Everything that I saw, the imperfections and, the shortcomings, it was for me to go and pray about these things. And a lot of times I failed that test because I was so frustrated. I was so in my feelings, but I had to use wisdom. And, I had to really pray about what I was seeing happening, and as a wife, I want you to understand that you have so much power. Even if you're not married, you have so much power when it comes to intercession and praying for the will of God in your husband's life. But you have to shift from what you're experiencing to taking authority and literally praying, all right? Your faith and your affections cannot be based on the natural. It has to be in the spirit, all right? So I pray that this has encouraged you. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.